Leaving California, stories from my life. Leaving California, stories from my life. Showing up at my husband's doorstep with my suitcase. Leaving California, stories from my life. Hello, y'all. I'm Dianna Brianne. I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations. I'm just here for entertainment purposes. I hope you like, share, subscribe to all 5 channels. Links pinned at the top of the comment section below. If the links aren't working, just copy and paste, okay? So this story comes from my life at the time I met my husband. You know, California, I had talked about moving to California in another story, so you have to look that one up if you want to, and all my journey and my time in California. I loved California. It was a wonderful, wonderful place, a wonderful period of my life, a wonderful journey, and yet I was ready to leave it for quite some time. I was ready to move on. I just didn't know exactly where. And so a few months, I would say a few months, I just felt that I needed to make a move. And I had an uncle that had a house, and he had a big house, but he was always gone, and he needed someone to house sit. And so I decided I would put all my furniture in storage and I would go house sit. And this was a very important aspect for down the line when my blessing came about, because had I not had my furniture in storage, I would not have been able to make the quick move that I did. So anyhow, I moved in with my uncle. I had a wonderful job, a wonderful life. My life was going along just amazingly wonderful. I had free rent at that point, and I was living in this big, beautiful house, and my uncle was rarely, if ever, there. And so I just kind of was rolling along. And I told the story how I met my husband. I'm not going to go back through that story, but I knew the morning that I met him, before I met him, that I was going to meet him. It was a spiritual knowing. And anyhow, I met my husband. And long story short, we wrote letters back and forth because he had to travel out of country. And then when he got back, we took a 2.5-week vacation. And we decided that I was moving to where he was going to go. I just wasn't quite sure exactly when the timing was, but I knew it was going to be in a very short amount of time. And so I got myself a plane ticket about a week after he left. And I think that plane ticket was for 4 more days out. And I got on a plane. I had just known this man who was to be my husband later, and now about 30 years later. And out of faith, I stepped on the plane. And I got there, and I went to a town in the area where we live now, to where I had not known. I had never been there. And I left California, left all my stuff in storage, had my suitcases, and as my husband often puts it, I showed up at his doorstep with my suitcase. The truth was, he was happy and excited for me to be there, and he picked me up at the little tiny airport at the time. And I got there, and I have this little figurine. Let me see if I can go get it, okay? Let me see. Here it is. Can you see it? Can you see it? The little figurine, and that's me with a suitcase showing up at my husband's door. And so he always says that. And when I saw this little figurine, I said, that's me. That's absolutely me. And so I showed up, and we were married not too long after that. And yet I had to find a job, and I did. But I had to kind of go through a number of different jobs because none of the jobs were anything like what I was coming from in California. The California jobs that I had been fabulous. And now I was in an area that I really didn't know all that well, and I kind of had to try different jobs and all that. But we were married a few months later, and that was about 30 years ago. And so what I'm saying is was that I knew ahead of time that I wanted to leave California, and I knew ahead of time that I was meeting my husband. It was a spiritual knowing, and I was ready. California was wonderful, wonderful to me. And as much as it's changed since then, it was wonderful, wonderful to me, and it remains a geographically beautiful state. And so, yes, off I went to another state on faith. I'm not recommending that to anyone. On faith with a man that I knew a little bit. I'd spent quite a bit of time with him on our 2.5-week trip. But beyond that, it was a very new relationship. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, okay? And so I stepped out in faith, and that was how I left California. From my house to yours, from my story to yours. May God bless you. I do hope you like, share, subscribe to all 5 channels. Links pinned at the top of the comment section below. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Grandma's porch, a place to relax.